Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're going to shoot you across to Jamie quickly.
I said that the mysteries of the night are just waiting to be revealed in the morning. And I would say it's safe to assume that the hyenas had a very large meal at some point yesterday evening. Just look at that belly that's on Corky. Sure. Been gorging yourself, girl. Looks like she swallowed a beach ball. She's waddling like it as well. Good morning. Are you off again to eat some more? Old injuries still visible from that scrap that happened at some point over the last 2 weeks with that one subordinate hyena. Corky was out and about. She was suckling one of the December twins. The other one was playing with June. And November was around as well. There's no sign of the matriarch at the den. She's probably still wherever they are, or wherever they found that particular kill, feeding. We've still got a bit of a view of November there. She is watching her departure intently, waiting for her own mother to come back, maybe provide her with some food. Hiding there behind the Tambuti branch. Hello, little girl or boy, whatever you may be. Not sure where June went. I'm going to go forward fractionally just to see. Who's playing about with one of the December twins. Oh, sure. That is smelly. My goodness me. They've definitely brought back the scent of the kill with them. Hey, Tibbs. Wow. That is very pungent. Hey, you smelly things. Getting braver and braver now. There was a time when we were first watching November where it wouldn't go anywhere away from the den entrance if Mom was not there to protect it. Now bold and full of curiosity. Let's be careful though. It's a little bit too far for you to be wondering. You naughty thing. What are you exploring? Oh, you're going very far. Just shot out of view. Moved right around the northern section of the den into some very dense vegetation. Could be following or playing with June. That might have been where June went to. But, oh, that's a little bit far for a hyena cub to be wandering. And we've spoken yesterday about, oh, there we go. That's who you've been after. There you go. Another rotund belly coming through, carrying something. Good morning, pretty. That's why November was rushing off. Mommy's home. Mommy's got something that November wants, and there's now going to be a tantrum. Looks like, I think it's bottom part of a hoof. Pretty's been accompanied by the matriarch as well. She's going to enter the scene soon. Here she comes. Now this could be interesting. Whatever Mommy has, November really wants. Give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. Can hear her whining. Look at that. It's like a toddler. Not sure exactly what that is. It is some part of whatever they were munching on last night. You can see how much November is dying for it. And that's out of curiosity more than anything else. Because at this stage, she's too young to eat meat. She might nibble on it out of curiosity. And, of course, if you read any book, they will say that spotted hyenas never bring food back to the den. That's definitely not the case at this particular den site. Look at it. I want it. Even the sub-adult has a rotund belly. Watching the goings-on. And Kimmy Ann, you've said that you always thought before we spent this amount of time with him that I... Look at that determination. I want it. I know what that is. I'm fairly certain that that is a piece of hippo skin. And the reason I'm saying that is because, first of all, it looks very fatty, but also apparently one of the hippos in Torchwood has died. I'm not sure exactly how. Look at this. A tug-of-war between mom and child. A determination there. I want it. But yes, spending a little bit of time with spotted hyenas, they do have a terrible, fearsome reputation as dirty, thieving scavengers, but it's totally unfair. They act as any wild animal acts, on pure instinct, governed by different rules. But when you watch scenes like this, with the forbearing mother providing entertainment for her youngster, you can't help but feel a certain fascination and affection for them. Not having it. Mom does not want to give it to you. You didn't say please. This is such a battle of wills here. You can see how precocious hyena cubs really are. Oh, sorry, November. Not to be deterred. Back again. Oh, come on, Mummy. You've got a full round belly. I'm sure you could spare your precocious youngster a toy to play with and to chew on. Begging sounds. Oh, this den is providing some fascinating scenes, but Scott has managed to get a little... That's a tantrum and a half. Can hear it squealing. It's managed to get the piece. I won. Oh, don't go that way. You're going to have it stolen. And while November disappears into the den site and Pretty sees off Bella, Scott has managed to creep closer to the elephant in the morning light. So let's go and have a quick look.
Well, we are going to get some great views now. Take a closer look as he feeds. We've managed to creep into a little gap. As you can tell, he's still got no idea that we're here. And that's exactly how we want to keep the situation. Viam and myself have been sneaking around like naughty schoolboys, trying to get into the right spot, and we've got lucky again. The weather has just provided us with a perfect, very slight breeze to work with. And it sounds like you guys have been getting spoiled with an incredible sighting across at the hyena den. Great action so far on this sunrise safari. And as you can see, the sun is beginning to bathe the low veldt of South Africa with a glorious golden glow. Now, Rosanna asks a good question, and I should have actually run through this earlier. Rosanna, I hope all is well in New Zealand. If this elephant was to charge, or if any animal really was to charge, what I would do is I'd stand my ground, possibly shout and scream at it, wave my arms in the air, and maybe even throw my ash bag as a last-ditch attempt to prevent the animal from coming any closer. And usually that works. And let's take a closer look now as he has turned broadside to us. And the reason why standing your ground so often works is the simple psychological warfare that you're having. And even though elephants are much bigger than us, we're getting some great images now, I'm sure. Even though the elephant is much bigger than us, much more powerful than us, by standing our ground, it's going to make any animal think twice. Elephants, lion, leopard. When I say any animal, I need to rephrase that. Animals like buffalo and hippo will probably not take heed of you standing your ground, and it's going to be better to try and scramble up a tree. But an elephant bull, with all the experience I've had, oh, it looks like he's going to start multitasking. Oh, no, I think he changed his mind. I thought he was going to go to the toilet there for a moment as he began to erect his tail. But yes, standing your ground is your best option. You cannot outrun any animals out here. And thankfully it is just myself and VM on the walk. Obviously, if you're on a walk with a lot more people and guests, it can be a lot more tricky to control everyone's behavior. But because it's just the two of us, I'm very confident we don't have anything to worry about here. Look at this golden sun on his tusks now. Beautiful. Wow, there's people watching on opposite ends of the planet. Now we're chatting with Blair in Canada. And Blair's heard that the marula fruits will only ripen when they're on the ground. And that is correct. You usually don't see them yellow when they're up in the tree. They drop when they're kind of greeny yellow color and then become full yellow on the ground, and that is when they're ripe. Elephants will feed on them before they are at that yellow stage, and especially now because it is early on in the marula season, they're not going to be hugely fussy. But as the weeks unfold, and towards the kind of end of January last year, that's when the marula fruits were really in full swing, and herds of elephant were literally running through this clearing trying to feed. Look at this, it doesn't get any better. Can you believe the views we're getting? Absolutely awesome. We've been following him before the sun was even up, and now we are enjoying the benefits of the effect of the sun. Oh, he may have just detected something a little bit there, but no, it looks like he's calmed down again. And I'm just going to recheck the wind. It is still in our favor, but you need to be very careful that the wind doesn't change and give away your position. But for now, we are safe. He's got no idea we're here, and we're going to stay with him for as long as we can. But you guys are going to be heading back to the hyena den to see what's going on with all the action over there.
And what an awesome start to the morning. Look who's come out to say hello. Good morning, little munchkins. That one's got scars all over its back. We thought we saw that earlier, or when they first started appearing. It's the first time I've been able to see clearly those bald patches and scars across the back of one of the matriarch's twins. The matriarch at this point has now got to the point where she's almost wider than she is tall. She's so full of food. Now come to call her babies out, and that's the vocalizations you can hear. Bella investigating on the left. And Bella, for those of you who don't know, the little sub-adult that's on the left is the previous cub of this large hyena, this large female on the right. So has only just been usurped by the presence of two new siblings. But she's up and looking. Having lost whatever it was that she'd brought back to the den. They're both on alert, and I think they're on alert because June's coming down with... June's managed to get hold of whatever it was that they brought back. Got a mouthful of something. We saw November have a bit of a tantrum there when Mom wouldn't pass on the piece of meat, and I said that at this point it's far too young to be munching on them. But Barbara, you would like to know how close November is to eating an all-meat diet. What's fascinating about hyenas is their extended period of lactation. June's desperately trying to escape the attentions of Bella and the cubs. You know, everybody wants a piece of whatever that is. But it's, as I said, more out of curiosity than anything else. So hyenas can lactate for up to a year and a half. They will still suckle their cubs. That doesn't always happen. And it also depends on the rank of the female. It is really interesting to observe. So usually the matriarchs are capable, because they get better access to food, they're actually capable of lactating for longer. That being said, this hasn't been the case with Bella and her new cubs. She's had her new cubs less than a year. Sorry guys, I just need to go on the Game Drive channel quickly. Morning, no updates apart from Misikaya on Oliver Road active, and there's one, my daughter-in-law on quarantine. Okay, copy that. Awesome. When I'm finished up here, then I'll head in that direction. It's wonderful to spend a little bit of time with these hyenas in the morning light. I was... Somebody playing King of the Castle. Oh, November, you're getting so brave. Now going to investigate poor June and being carefully watched by Bella. And Bob Spooner, just as finishing off the discussion of the safety of the den, you were wondering what natural predators there are for hyenas. And the answer is mainly lions. Lions are the top of the predator hierarchy out here. They are bigger and stronger and essentially dominant in terms of all of the different animals that we see. That being said, hyenas also sometimes have conflict with wild dogs, and depending on how many wild dogs there are, there's a chance that the wild dogs could win and act as a natural predator for them. So yes, Bob, those are the two main threats. A leopard is unlikely to be able to take on a hyena, but with any predator, the young of any predator are at risk and vulnerable, and any other predator will try and kill them as a way of reducing competition for themselves in the future and also for their offspring in the future. Now, it's been wonderful to... Wild dogs! That's incredible! Just as we were talking about it. This is about to get incredibly interesting. Can you hear the madam growling? This is amazing. They've walked straight past. They completely ignored them. Where did these wild dogs come from? That was unexpected. They're sniffing around. The other hyenas are moving in. Pretty's moving to the side of the matriarch. They're watching very carefully. They're growling. But they haven't moved from their post. The pups have all disappeared into the den. And the wild dogs have gone straight past. That was incredible. That was totally unexpected. That is so interesting. And off they go. Guys, I think we're gonna stay with the wild dogs. We know how fast they move, but the hyenas are all safe and accounted for. There's only 3 of them that I saw there. That was so interesting. Straight past, you could see the hyenas are so unsettled, moving away. And now Pretty going with us to investigate and to make sure that the wild dogs is moving away from their den. Wow, now that is why these live safaris are incredible. That was so unexpected. Okay, here we go. And the pace of the morning just changed. Pretty's moving out to or outside of the den, but she hasn't gone after them. That was absolutely fascinating. Just as we were talking about natural predators for hyenas, the wild dogs showed up. How incredibly well timed was that? But I think because there were 3 adults, I'm not sure if it's the investing pack or what's happening. It's impossible for me to be able to tell. Where have they gone? We're moving in the direction of the Bull Road. That was so unexpected. Let's just see if they've popped out on this road here. That was really interesting to see. But yes, all cubs are present and accounted for. That was amazing. So unexpected. Where have these wild dogs gone? And it's amazing how the pace of the morning completely changes. I don't know if you could hear it, but the matriarch is making this low rumbling sound at the base of her chest. It's actually not considered to be growling. I actually need to just stop and listen. I want to see if I can hear anything. So that sound that they make is not actually growling, but it's something similar. There's a nyala off to the left there. Wild dogs, where did you go? That's incredible. They've just absolutely vanished. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to send you back across to Scott while I look for them. It just means that I can concentrate a little bit better. But I'll catch up with you really shortly.
Well, can you believe your luck? Sitting at a hyena den with an already incredible sighting, and then 3 wild dog appear. What's really interesting is their behavior and the hyena's reaction to them coming. Sounds like very fortunate that you guys got to witness that, and now let's hope that Jamie has some luck relocating them. There is a chance that VM and I might hurry on back to camp. We're not too far away, probably just about a 4 or 5 minute walk. Jump in a vehicle and assist her in trying to find that pack, but we'll just see how it goes. That is an option though. We've repositioned, we've come up to a big termite mound that I'm sitting on, and in case he feeds closer towards us, at least we'll have a high point to get to. But he's still under the same marula, just casually enjoying his breakfast. Sometimes they'll put 2 of those little fruits into their mouth at a time, but usually it's just 1 at a time, plopping them in. And what would be nice to see is if we find some of his dung, which we could well do. They usually defecate about every half an hour to 40 minutes, which makes sense because they are feeding permanently throughout the day almost, and therefore toilet breaks are fairly regular. And if we were to look through one of his big piles of dung, we would find a lot of marula fruits. Now, the wind has been swirling, and it looks like it may just be blowing the odd little waft of our scent towards him. And that's why I think he may have lifted up his trunk there just to try and test the air. Imagine having a nose like that you could point in whichever direction you desire.
the free adult. And these stores.
And just turning off my game drive radio, those are the beeps you can hear. You may have heard Jamie's voice coming through faintly over there. And she's just letting all the guys know on the game drive channel what's going on.